So today we need to talk about all the news surrounding Social Security. And today we actually have some good news because we've been seeing so many different reports of cuts and reductions and firings. Now I want to give you some good news regarding Social Security and exactly what Speaker Mike Johnson had to say just this morning. So again, I'm going to break all this down, explain what is going on, why we are seeing so many reports that are contradicting other reports, but what this means for you and I moving forward. So I'll break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So what is this good news? Well, look at this right here, because over the past few weeks, these are the reports that we've been getting. It says Social Security Administration will have significant cuts. We see that the Social Security Trust Fund is being looked at and investigated. We continue to see that Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency is going after Social Security because of all the fraud and abuse. But what Speaker Mike Johnson was just asked and how he explained it, this should make people on Social Security feel a little bit more secure that the money that they've invested into Social Security is going to come back to them eventually. Just look at this, and again, keep in mind, these are the stories that we continue to hear. Republicans are going after what they believe is the right thing to do. Democrats are going after Republicans, saying that no, we cannot change what has already been passed. But just listen to this.
Your plan calls for almost $900 billion over the next 10 years in cuts from the Energy and Commerce Committee. As you know, it's going to be nearly impossible to reach that level of cuts without touching entitlements. I know you have been asked this before, Mr. Speaker, but I need to get you on the record here again. Are cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security off the table?
Keep in mind, before he answers, okay, keep in mind that President Trump has already said that cuts to these entitlement programs are off the table. He doesn't want Congress touching them. But at the same time, like she just asked, we're going to see $800 plus billion in reductions. But how do we have that much in reductions when we do not touch entitlements? And listen to his answer.
Yes, and don't take my word for it, Kristen. Go do a word search of the budget resolution that we passed on Tuesday. There is not one mention of Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security. It's not in the bill because we haven't set the policy. What we're trying to do is get America back on sound fiscal ground. We have a $36 trillion federal debt and ballooning deficits. The Republican Party is the party of fiscal responsibility.
Right there. He says the Republican Party is a party of fiscal responsibility. And what we are continuing to hear is that we are going to have a larger deficit based off of what we've heard recently under multiple different groups. They are saying that under the new Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, there could be an additional $10 trillion added to our deficit. That is going to come over the next 10 years. So with very soon, we could be at $45+ trillion in debt. And yet nobody's looking at how we're going to pay that off. And that's why I bring this to your attention because, and I've said this multiple times, especially when it comes to this potentially $5,000 Doge dividend refund, that we are seeing $400 billion, okay, $400 billion of the savings, the potentially $2 trillion in savings is going to come back to the American people. But deficit hawks are saying that, hey, we need to be well aware of the deficit, and we need to be targeting that. Listen to what Speaker Mike Johnson is going to say in a second, because what he says, again, keep this in mind, this is good news. We are not targeting Social Security recipients, but Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency have a fiscal responsibility, and they've been asked by the American people, technically not Elon Musk or the Department of Government Efficiency, but Republicans have been asked by the American people to eliminate waste and abuse in all these different programs. Let's keep listening to this.
The American people want us to review the expenditures of the country and get our fiscal house in order, and that's what we must do. At the same time, we've got to extend the Trump-era tax cuts so we can make sure that every American does not receive the largest tax increase in U.S. history at the end of this year.
Keep in mind, what he's saying right there is that right now, Americans they're benefiting from this Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, where we saw the top tax brackets, and really all tax brackets other than the 10% one, every single one was adjusted and came down. So Americans are actually paying less in taxes as a result of this Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. But at the same time, as we're paying less in taxes, Social Security tax is still the same. Again, let's keep listening.
Very serious work. We can do both of those things simultaneously and not affect benefits for anyone who relies upon those and is eligible to receive them. President Trump's been crystal clear about this, and we have as well. But in those programs, you have lots of inefficiencies. In Medicaid, for example, there's an estimated $50 billion a year that is lost in fraud alone.
$50 billion a year in fraud alone, just on Medicaid.
We've got to clean that up, and the people want us to do it. That's what we're talking about, ensuring efficiencies, ensuring that the programs are strengthened so that they can remain solvent and help the people they're intended to help.
So right there, he says, we need to make sure the programs remain solvent. Here's the issue, and this is something that I've been very clear on over the past several weeks, is not just Democrats, but any person in Congress over the past several decades they pretty much pushed the responsibility for Social Security and kicked the can down the road to let somebody else tackle this problem. Well, the issue now is the problem's becoming so large and it's imminent. This is going to happen. Social Security will become insolvent in the next 9 years, if not sooner. That is why Republicans are looking to eliminate this waste and abuse at this time, because if they don't, there's going to be a 22% cut to Social Security in the next 9 years. So if they can eliminate the waste and abuse and illegal spending, that's a big one. Okay, there are certain people that do not have legal standing here in the United States that are getting benefits, and they're coming from Social Security. We are seeing many people, and it usually takes a while, but it does get figured out where the Social Security Administration find out that the same check, the checks that are going out to a specific person under a specific Social Security number, multiple checks have been doled out every single month for years. And then they have to go back and figure out where did this money go, who is responsible, and how are they going to pay it back. And in many cases, the person has died, they can't figure out where the checks are going, and nobody's held responsible. But let's keep listening to this.
So you say there won't be any cuts to entitlements, but on Friday, Elon Musk, who President Trump has, of course, put in charge of making cuts all across the government, called Social Security, quote, the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. Mr. Speaker, is that a sign that Social Security is Elon Musk's next target?
So she just asked, is this Elon Musk's next target? Elon Musk has been very clear that no agency, no program no stone will be left unturned. He is going to look after every single one. So essentially what she's trying to do is almost bait Speaker Mike Johnson to say that, yes, it's his next target. Listen to his answer, though.
No, well, I've met with Elon about this multiple times. We meet late into the night in his office, and we've looked at that. What he's finding with his algorithms crawling through the data of Social Security system is enormous amounts of fraud, waste, and abuse.
So it's a target.
And we need
it is
to
a
target that. The American people want us to. No, Kristen, don't put words in my mouth. What I am saying is we have a moral responsibility to ensure that those programs are conducted in a way that does not allow for this massive fraud and abuse. And that's what he is finding. He's finding, for example, that one Social Security number can be assigned to dozens or maybe hundreds of people, so that every time there's a check distribution, it goes to all those different addresses. There was no safeguard in the existing software, the Social Security, to prevent that from happening. That is outrageous. And when these examples are presented to the American people, they're going to be on the side of Doge and Elon, President Trump, and the Republicans in Congress. And we look forward to cleaning that up.
It's worth noting the Social Security Administration's internal watchdog found that less than 1% of benefit payments were improper. I do want to get to my final question, though, which is about the shutdown.
Don't believe it. Hey.
Right there. Don't believe it. So the Social Security Administration internal watchdog says less than 1% of payments are improper. Speaker Mike Johnson says, do not believe it. And I think we can all agree that over the past several years, the information and the numbers that we've been receiving have not been 100% true. So when he's saying that, don't believe the numbers that less than 1% are improper, in my opinion, based off everything I have read and all the reports I've seen over the past several years, I don't believe 1% is improper. I believe the number is much higher. What he's saying is that Elon Musk is finding that dozens or hundreds of people are receiving payments under the exact same Social Security number, but the checks are going to different addresses into different states. And yeah, that has been reported multiple times that this is something that has occurred. Again, a lot of fraud. We are wasting funding. And so the good news is that Republicans and the Department of Government Efficiency are looking into this. The bad news is, and this is where I've been hearing a lot of reports from Democrats saying that we need to stop this. We need to stop Elon Musk. We need to prevent the Department of Government Efficiency from going into Social Security. Well, why? If there's a problem, we need to address it. Now, are we going to see some pain along the way? Yes. Republicans and President Trump himself have said that pain is going to be temporary. We're going to experience it. Every single person in the United States is going to experience some pain here or there, whether it's prices, whether it has to do with benefits and there's delays or there's other issues. There's going to be some pain along the way, but in the end, in potentially months or if not years, we are going to be better off as a result of what we are doing today. So the good news right now for Social Security recipients is that yes, everybody's being looked into. So as long as everything is fine on your end, you didn't do anything improper, you will be fine. But again, Elon Musk is using algorithms and technology to figure out what is going on. He's not just looking at a bunch of sheets and websites and everything like that. He's using algorithms. He's using artificial intelligence to figure out and become more efficient. Now, once he gets the data, what does he do with it and how does he improve the systems? So, we're going to see. All I can tell you right now is changes are going to occur over the next several months. We're going to get reports saying that yes, cuts are coming, but then other reports that say no, there's no cuts to benefits. The cuts will be coming to illegal immigrants, to improper payments, to the Social Security Administration themselves. So, as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back and share all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.